Welcome to Client's Beauty Beat podcast. This is the first episode in a series that will look into the latest developments and key trends in the dynamic beauty space. I'm Marcella Kifu, Marketing Manager of Client's Consumer Products Practice, and today we're going to talk about salons, one of the beauty areas that has been heavily impacted by the coronavirus pandemic. Joining me on the line is our expert, Paula Gotteiner, who manages Client Pro, a revolutionary tool for the salon industry designed to empower its users with transaction-based data on a quarterly basis. Hi, Paula. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great, thank you. And I'm very excited to be here today to talk to you about my favorite topic, salons.
I bet you are. And since we've just published the first quarter delivery of Client Pro, I'm sure you have so many great insights to share. But before we move into this, can you tell us a bit about Client Pro? What makes this service so unique into the salon world?
Sure. Client Pro is our salon retail products and services database. And we get the actual point of sale transactions from a panel of about 3,000 salons from across the US. And of course, all this is done on an anonymous basis. And then once we receive that data, I have a team of folks that classify it by service or product category, to the manufacturer, the brand, and then all the way down to the item level. So it really is very in-depth there. And additionally, the team goes on and further identifies things like the main product benefit, the form of the product, and the size of the package. It is really quite detailed. And then once all that is complete, the data is processed and extrapolated to represent the total salon universe. We also provide expert commentary on key data findings that highlight key trends as well as winning products and services.
Wow, that is certainly powerful information for salon professionals, particularly in these uncertain, challenging times that we're all going through. And what has changed with all the restrictions and closures from the COVID 2019 pandemic this year? Are there any differences across the US regions?
Well, the salon shutdowns started in some states around the middle of March. And because the data can be viewed by the month, we are able to see a significant dip in the March sales. And it's really interesting to see the impact on the data. For instance, we can look at the data by region as well. Some of the earliest salon shutdowns were in the Washington State and North Pacific area, and the data shows that the West region was down in most of the number of down the most in the number of services performed in the month of March. And then conversely, the South, with states such as Florida that were resisting closing businesses right away, had the strongest performance.
This is very interesting, Paula. And speaking of services, are there any notable changes?
Well, luckily, like I said, because we can look at it by the month, you can really tell what was going on. We saw that treatments overall were off to a strong start in January and February, particularly with those for clarifying and thinning hair coming out on the plus side for the entire quarter. And what was of note, however, is that the bond builder treatments that were the sweetheart of services last year have started to slow down. And even when we take the March shutdowns into account, the number of bond builder treatments being done were down 10%, as well as the associated revenues with that service. Hair coloring remained the largest contributor of the salon service revenue at 39%. And while there's an ebb and flow between the specific hair coloring services that perform the strongest, we saw consistent performance with the balayage, men's lightening, and then those that combine a cut and style with the color service.
And what about some of the brightest spots to watch going forward?
Well, in brand performance, we saw that indies enjoyed the largest bumps in revenue. And it's probably not a surprise that Olaplex was one of those brands, but a few others, including Amica and 11 Australia, were included. Amica cracked the top 10 in the shampoo category for the first time. Its number one item is a Perk Up dry shampoo. And then what I found surprising was that both Olaplex and 11 Australia saw their biggest growth in the hairstyling category. This category's been struggling with maintaining its share. So maybe these new smaller brands was what is needed to invigorate it. The Olaplex number 6 Bond Smoother is a very versatile product that it can be used on all hair types and can help with a number of other issues, including smoothing and eliminating frizz. And then 11 Australia's Dry Finish Texture Spray turned out being the top new styling product this quarter. And looking at care products, which we consider to be shampoo and conditioners combined that are designed for color care, continue to be very important to the industry. They comprise nearly 30% of all sales. Other benefits for care that are gaining share compared to last year are the repair and condition, which is due in large part to the various Plex or bond building products, and moisturizing is up as well. In styling, products for smoothing and frizz control are picking up share, and that gain looks to be at the expense of items targeted towards thermal care and volumizing.
Wow, it sounds like Client Pro can really help clients dig in deep to see what is happening in salons.
That is quite true. There are a lot of ways to slice and dice it using our online interactive platform. In fact, it is really a data geek's dream if you love that kind of stuff. Seriously, though, as great as it is, sometimes what's needed is just a quick overview. And that's why we came up with an offshoot of Client Pro called Pro Pulse. I think of it more of a at a glance tool that can quickly tell you how the service and product categories are performing. And what it does is looks at the category's current performance by month and indexes it to last year's numbers. And with the color coding of green being up and red being down, it immediately lets you know which categories may need attention and can help make any time spent in the database more efficient.
Wow, that's more my speed. And when is Propulse available?
Well, actually, ProPulse is available now, and it has the data for January, February, and March. And Pulse, like the Klein Pro database, will be updated each quarter. So the addition with April, May, and June will be available at the end of this quarter. And in fact, I think the Q2 data is what is really going to be exciting to dive into. I expect that the April numbers, due to 90% or more of the salons being closed, are going to be very minimal. But then to see the uptick starting in May and June as the country started opening is really going to tell us a lot. For instance, are clients coming back to salons for coloring services, or are they okay to keep coloring their hair at home? Or even more, if gray grew in during that time, are they okay with it? They might like it. And then too, when clients do, and if they come back to the salon, are they going to buy more product while they're there to try to eliminate another stop along the way and exposure to people? There's just a lot going on.
Right. So many questions to answer and so much to understand as we start to resume our regular activities with a new perspective. Data is one way to help see what is happening and plan for the future. And I'm so glad we at Klein can be a resource for the professional salon industry. With that in mind, Paula, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. It was such a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you so much.
To learn more about Klein or the topic we discussed today, please visit kleingroup.com and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for brief industry updates like this one. We look forward to connecting with you soon on a new topic. Thank you for listening and have a great day.